Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, October 15th, and we're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs. And what an interesting day for all three of these indices. I mean, Triple Qs fill their gap early and then go out with a price probe to the upside. Russell, they don't fill their gap till L, but they were one-time framing down all morning and go out with a trend day down and a price probe to the downside, yet have higher value on the day. And for us, we couldn't get our IB until J period. We have our smallest range of the month by far, 217, I believe. It's going to be the lightest volume so far of the month. Yet we hold both gaps, today's and yesterday's. We are in a back firmly in balance in the weekly. In fact, today is the weekly high. If we take that out next week, we'll go to up on the weekly. So a lot going on. We're going to go over all the charts. Personally, had a horrible day on some silly things, especially late in the day in SPY. I got myself in trouble early in Russell. Remember I was talking about taking a straddle. Well, I thought if straddle and Russell would work at 228 when they open up around that level. I like to get them at the same price, and I didn't. And I was in a hole early, and when Russell really pulled down, when B took out A, I actually took off the put portion of it because I did not expect to go trend down just yet with higher value and a gap. So I made money on those puts. The calls were out. Now it was only a 20 lot, but they were out. And then what I did was when B pushed down, I added some real good size of the three, not the threes, the 226 calls. And then when C opened and didn't take B as low out and started climbing back up, it worked out. Turned out to be a good trade as I got that all back and more. That was the good news. Now, in SPY, I didn't do much early on. I took longs in D, and I took a long in E the first time against the open, and they both worked out. And then it was just a chop fest. I wasn't doing much. And then there was and again, I don't blame anybody but myself, but then in K, I'm trying to think if it was J or K. It was in J period. Actually, it was in K. We had the single prints. K started coming down, so around the 15-minute mark, I thought maybe we'd get a pop one more time to try for the high. I went to buy the 443 calls. Didn't think I got them. And actually, I must have double tapped it, whatever. It came in, and the next thing I know, I'm long 100 of the 443 calls. And they're instantly against me by about 20-25 cents. I was thinking about adding the K's low, but I was like, you know what? We fill these single prints. Maybe that was just some push up above the IB to run some stops. If we take out J's low, we could flush. I took them off, and then to make matters worse, I took a put play to try to get my money back. See, I traded like an amateur. So instead of just clearing my head and waiting for more market-generated information, took the put play before we took out L's low. It went up. It got within a couple of pennies of K's high. Took that off for a loss, and I got whipsawed. And then look what L did as it flushed down. So, horrible way to end the week. Nobody's fault but my own. And we'll start fresh on Monday. As far as destinations, and please write these down so I don't go over them Monday morning. Upside, we have 446.26. That is today's high, which is a weekly high. Then we don't have anything to 448.36 daily high, 448.41 daily high, 448.92 weekly high, and then remember those single prints at 449.39. They get filled at 49 cents from September 10th. That's basically for me where change took place when we went from that level all the way down to 426 and change. So we came in $23, and now we've taken most of that back. We'll see if we can get back up to that level. Again, that's still in the bigger picture, my line in the sand. That September 10th upper distribution. So we'll see if they're going to able to get that at some point next week. For the downside, I'm using L as the afternoon pullback low, 445.64. We were 9 wide at half back, 445.18. 443.16 11 wide from September 27th. It was an upside destination. We gapped above it. It's still there. So that doesn't go away. So that's that's below us, 443.16, which is in the middle of our gap from today. Then we have today's low, 440.409, filling the gap at 442.66. So it's a 145-point gap. Still a decent gap for us. Obviously, Russell filled theirs and Q's filled theirs. But our gap is still decent. And then we have that 11-wide park in the middle of it. And then 442.59 price probe from yesterday. And then you should have the single prints I gave you and the lowest accepted price I gave you last night on the downside. Then we have that other large gap below. Now, before we get to the charts, again, Russell, afternoon rally high in K, price probe, L's low, single prints, trend day down. Triple Qs, you'd use H as the afternoon pullback, 9 wide, and a price probe, L's high. All right, now let's go to the charts and break them all down. Midway through October. So look at Russell. I mean, it just continues. This is the 7th month we've traded inside of March's range. The bigger picture will not change until we come out of that, whether it's to the upside or the downside, right? And that's 234.53, which is the all-time high, and 207.21. So pure balance. And the longer we stay in here, the bigger the move should be when we finally get acceptance out of it one way or the other. Think about it. We've had 3 dividends inside of this. Amazing. So balance on the monthly, weekly, balance. Look at the way we keep going back and forth, right? We went into balance 4 weeks ago. We went down last week, back up this week, pure balance. And the daily is up. Yes, it was a horrible finish, without a doubt, but we still up in the daily. Gap is my main focus from yesterday. They did take out this high, but they couldn't get back. This is the next big one on the daily, 229.84. So today we got up to 228.41. So the monthly and weekly are balanced. The daily is up, with the gap being my main focus. And look at all 3 of their 200-day moving average, 20, and 50. Look how close they are. Remember I said last week they were close? Well, right now they're within 45 cents of each other. That's amazing. So you talk about a market waiting for more market-generated information. At some point, this market's going to pop in the Russell one way or the other. Pretty good. Triple Qs, monthly. Again, I'll still call that balance to down, just like SPY's going to be. Weekly, back to balance. It's a 3-week balance. 3 weeks ago high, 371.25 is the high of it. Last week's low is the bottom of it. 3-week balance. See if they can take out this week's high. So monthly is balanced to down. Weekly is balance. Daily is up. One time framing up 3 days. Yesterday's gap, the main focus. They're between the 50 and the 20-day moving average. In fact, they went up and touched the 50. Actually, they closed above it, it looks like. 369.39 I'm looking at, unless I have it on the wrong thing. No, 369.39. We closed at 368.94. So we closed just below the 50-day moving average. So balance to down, balance, and up on the 3 time frames. Now SPY. I'm still calling it balance to down. Yeah, we are firmly inside last month's range, but we did take out last month's low. So I'm still calling it balance to down for now. Weekly, firmly back in balance. In fact, this is the high of the balance, today's high, and the bottom of it is last week's low. So we've rallied pretty good. We've rallied $20 off the lows. Almost $19.90 off the lows. If we take out today's high, the weekly would go from balance to up. And the daily is firmly up. 2 gaps are my main focus, and we're now both above the 50 and the 20. I hope you had a great day and a good week trading. Enjoy the weekend, rest up, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.